You're the writer of what many consider their favorite episode of Rick and Morty, which is Mr. Meeseeks or Meeseeks and Destroy. How did that character come about?
God, I'm trying to think of the evolution. The problem with talking about the show's history is that so many things get swirled up in your brain, like the 9,000 iterations before the final version. I think we were trying to tell a story about Rick had a friend visiting that was like some sort of galactic omnipotent character. I kept wanting to say like a Q type character, and he's hanging out in the house and Anyway, Justin didn't like that idea, and he was frustrated. And it was late one night, and he just like freaks out, and he starts talking about how he wants just a character that just says a bunch of nonsense and does the Meeseeks voice. And then we're like, all right, let's just kind of go with that energy, man. Let's just go with it. And then we broke the story, we developed it. And the funniest aspect of the Meeseeks episode is that we were so far in production. The script was already written. The script was written, mind you. I think recorded, and all of a sudden we realized when James McDermott, who's art director at that time in season 1, came in and was like presenting art, and all of a sudden we realized I imagined the Meeseeks were this big, and then half the room was like no, they're like supposed to be like our height, and literally it was like the gold dress, white dress, blue, whatever. Like half the people are like, no, the whole time it's fiction. So I wrote those scenes imagining the scene in the restaurant when Jerry and Beth are at dinner and they all come in. I was like, yeah, it's like a little Smurf guy on the table,
He's not at a chair, he's sitting at the table.
Yeah, like standing on, and everyone's like, no, he's like full height. So it was crazy that it got that far with half the staff imagining two different scales, which is a totally different. I mean, that's a big difference. So, obviously the human scale won. All right.
Yeah.
My side lost. All right.
Gold and white. I think it's gold and white.
Yeah.
Whatever everybody else says.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can you say if we should expect Mr. Meeseeks in the third season?
I don't know, because the thing is, we talked about, we're only halfway through. I don't know if we're allowed to say that, but we're halfway through the production process, so we've got another half of a season of episodes to go to do anything we want with, including a Mr. Meeseeks episode. But I said earlier that if we're going to do another one, it'd be cool to explore what it means to be Meeseeks, like in Next Generation, they did the Hugh the Borg episode, so it's like, what would an aberrant Meeseeks be like? A Meeseeks who was evil, a Meeseeks, like Stripe from the Gremlins or something. Dan says, but also we can just treat it as like this tool that Rick has, and it's not we don't need to get deep with it. It can just be one moment, one scene. So the likelihood of that happening is much higher than an entire sequel episode. And as we've been writing the season, Meeseeks have shown up in like one scene, and then we don't need the Meeseeks anymore, and it's disappeared. It's just sort of removable at will. So we'll see.
So you're midway through production, so the Saul season 3 is already written.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not already written yet? Okay.
Halfway through.
Then is there anything currently happening in the world that you might want to cover a parody on the show?
We try to stay away from that because that's South Park's turf, and we try to pull the scale back to like universal themes, as opposed to like current themes on, like political themes. I mean, it's always going to deal with politics. The Galactic Federation represents, in Rick's mind, what all governments represent, but it's not a direct commentary on even our government necessarily. So nothing. Yeah, I think that there's themes in our season that will, given the current state of political affairs, that will go, there's an interesting parallel, but we're not trying to satirize anything topical, certainly.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.